I am so tired of the fluff that's currently on YouTube explaining AI because AI can do so much. And if you have too many options, then you won't start. So this right here will literally just be an A to C walkthrough of how we onboard our clients for our AI agency. And that's how we make 35, even 40K months, where we sometimes have 10 or $6,000 days. And this has given us the freedom. Right now, I'm sitting in fucking Thailand recording this video for you. This is how you create this kind of AI agency where you actually provide value and you actually drive sales for your clients. And also where you get clients that work with you for years, where you are able to charge them every single month because you're earning them more money than they're paying you. If a client works with you for over a year, you know that you're doing something right. The AI agency I'm talking about is Shiny.ai. We've been running this AI agency for 2.5 years. This one business is what has enabled us to travel the world. I'll literally show you everything of how we do it, how we set up the AI, how the model works, what we actually do. So you can go from a complete beginner, you can follow this every single step, and you'll be able to do the exact same thing. All right, let's go. This is an overview of how the business model actually works and exactly what it is that we are implementing to drive more sales using AI. The way that most companies get sales is that they do some kind of advertising. This is either done through ads or PPC, which stands for pay per click. So with ads, I mean like Facebook, and with PPC, I mean Google ads, things where you pay for each click that you come in. You advertise and you get traffic. But they could also get leads from door knocking. They could also buy them from other companies selling leads. These are called lead vendors, or literally just referrals. And what then happens is that this company has some kind of internal sales system. And if they don't have an internal sales system, well, then they don't do sales, right? And they're not a business. So you need to find companies that do already have this internal sales system. Sales guys, they book appointments, they close them into sales. But what happens is that not everyone that signs up on an ad will actually end up converting, right? And usually it's around 5%, which means that they need 20 leads to be able to close one client. And this also means that 95% of old leads, they end up right here. Usually they have some internal follow-up sequence. This might be emails, sometimes also text messages, because usually they are very generic. They're not very personalized. It might just be an offer that says, hey man, get 20% off solar, here's a link to book. The funny thing is that it works, but it just doesn't work as well as what we are doing. Let me show you. So this color right here, that is what we at Shiny AI are doing. We take these 95% of leads, these old leads that they haven't converted, that are just collecting dust inside of their database. When I say a lead, I mean a name and a phone number. That is all we need. We then try to reactivate them, and this is a reactivation system that uses AI. We send out an initial message. This could be, hey, first name, I can see that we can make an update on your solar quote. Would you be interested in that? So basically, you just try to get them to respond. You try to spark some interest. They'll just respond with, sure, let me hear your quote. The interesting thing about this, and the reason why it works better than regular follow-up, is that it's personalized. You don't expect them to click on a link right away. You actually ask them a question, and with AI, you can have a personalized conversation with every single lead in this database, which will result in appointments and which will result in sales. Then we do 2 follow-ups, follow-up 1 and 2. This could be just like, hey John, did you see my message? Or my phone is bugging me, I'm not sure, did my message go through? This is basically also just to get a response out of the lead. If they don't respond the first time, we wait 60 days and then we send the second batch of follow-ups. And if they don't respond there either, we wait 60 days and then we send the third, and then we usually give up. But what happens with the leads that actually respond is that the AI has a personalized conversation with them. And I'll show you how to create AIs that do this exact thing. And some of them will be interested. Some of them will say, sure, let me hear your updated quote. And that means that we can book them in with a salesperson in the company that we are working with, which drives sales. If you do this correctly, you can add up to 10% additional sales to the company. You will be able to charge a decent amount, And the companies will happily pay a fee for booking in an appointment because they are not paying additional marketing costs. This is all already lost revenue that they are not converting themselves. My business partner, Oliver, has closed a client, a solar partner of ours. And I'll show you how we set up the reactivation system. I'll show you exactly how we onboard a real client. First step is that we need some information from our new client. And we usually do this through an onboarding form using Go High Level, but you can use whatever software that you use. For free, you could use Google Forms, where you just have these questions. And I've created docs right here. I've just called onboarding information. And here you have all of the questions that we are asking in our AI agency. This is things such as their legal business information, because you need this to be able to sign up to a phone number. And then it's also their corporate structure, because you also need this for the phone number. Then it's their opening hours, what kind of area code they want for their SMS, the sales reps that they want their appointments given to, how many calls that can be scheduled every 30 minutes, links to their terms and conditions, so you can insert this into the AI. If they want, you can actually forward the calls to them, and that information we also ask for. Then we ask for an email that we can send them so they can see the conversations that's going on. What are specific value propositions your company offers? And the important thing about this, and the reason that you can get success with it, is these age leads, because they are not like active, you want to give them a really good offer. This could be $500 off of solar. It could also be that if you get solar, then you get something additionally. Master the art of creating a really good offer and convince your clients to also be able to give a good offer. Take all of this information, create a Google form where you ask for this, send the link to your client, they're gonna fill it out, you're gonna get the information, and then you're gonna be ready to go. Go to this website right here, testmyprompt.com, and you can use this for building and testing your AI and also deploying it so it sends SMS. Right now, they are running a 60% off for the first 3 months if you use the discount code update60, which I think is awesome because it gives us the chance to land a client first, and just make sure that you add the promotion code update60. This is running right now. I'm not sure how long this 60% off will work. When you have signed up, you can see in the top right corner that you now have an account, and I just click dashboard, and this takes us to the platform. The first thing you want to do is that you want to go to API key right here, and you'll go to the web URL right here that's called platform.openai.com. And this is where we are going to get an OpenAI API key, which we can use for our AIs that we create. I'm already logged in. If you don't have a user yet, then just sign up. And after you've signed up, go to the settings tab right here, go to billing, and make sure you have some credits on your account. You can start with $5 or $10. This will charge on usage. If you use some of the more expensive models, then it will charge more, but you actually don't need to do that. You can use some of the cheaper models as well and get really good results. When you have added balance right here, you can go inside of the dashboard and you can click API keys and you can click create an API key. I just call this testmyprompt.com and I click create secret key. Then I copy this key, I insert it into this field right here, and I click Save Changes. You can click Test API Key, which will test it and say, okay, your API key is working correctly. If you like guys like these and you want to see a bunch of more AI services that you can sell using softwares like Test My Prompt, then make sure to join our school group, which is called AI Automation A2C. We have almost 40,000 people in here that's all learning AI. Here's also where you can get help if you're stuck with anything. Inside of Classroom, you'll also be able to see our 3-part course, which explains most importantly how to actually sell it. This video shows you exactly how to build it, but you also need to sell it. Next up, I make sure that I'm inside of the Build Agent tab, and I click Create a Build. In the name, I just call it Solar AI. For the industry, I call it Solar. And for the language, I will use English. And then I click on Sales AI right here, and I click Continue. And what this will do is that it will pre-fill these slots right here with a decent framework, with a language and style and tone, and also a description of what I want the AIs to do. I can also go down here into advanced settings, but for now I'll set the temperature to 0.3 and the top P to just 1. Awesome. Then I can go to knowledge and rules, and these rules are also good. What I then can do is that I can find my client's website. This is their website right here. And I can copy their URL. I can import from website page, and all I do is that I paste in the website that they have, and I click import content. And what this will do is that my AI will go in on the web page, scrape all of the text, and place this inside of this field right here. And you can see there's a lot of text. But what I can do is that I can click turn into FAQ, which will take this information and format it so it's way better for an AI. Like that. Now you can see we have a way better FAQ. And all I need to do now is that I just generate with AI. This will generate the build. It will create the AI for me. And then we can go in and improve it afterwards. This usually takes around a minute. And then our AI is built and ready to be tested. There we go. Now you can see we have a Solar AI. And if I click on it, you can see we have the prompt of the company information, the FAQ, the question flow, some rules. And this is already now a good AI, but I want it to be really, really good. And this means that I'll tune it a bit more. Next up, I go inside of the Improve Agent tab, and I select that build that we have just created, which is the Solar AI. You can see here on the left side, we have the prompt. And on the right side, we actually have an AI prompter, and we can use this. This is like an AI expert prompter, and we can tell what we want to update in it. And for now, I'm going to look at the question flow. And this is usually where you get the best results if you nail this flow right here. The question flow is the questions that the AI takes the user through before they can book an appointment. I will make updates in this flow, and I'll take you through what I'm thinking, why I'm making these updates, so we get a really good result that we know will book appointments. The question flow we have here is actually not bad, and it will probably get results. But we usually have a specific flow that we take the user through that we have seen get the best results. And I'll take you through it too. So the fixed initial message is the first message that we send. And this will actually not be a part of the AI. The AI will pick up the conversation and continue the conversation, but we will always send out the initial first fixed message. And this will almost always be the same. So, hey, first name, hope you are well. We spoke a while ago. This is H leads, remember? Had my calendar ping me, but didn't want to disturb you without texting first. The reason we write this is because the user and the lead actually appreciates this. They hate phone calls. They would much rather get a text message. It's AI name. I'm still with business name, so the business name of your client. We are running a special for an extra $500 off Solar. So recently heard about a good update on the last Solar quote that we gave you. If you prefer not to receive my text, please respond with stop. Or should I send over the details so you can take a look? These two parts right here are for compliance. You want to say who it is, you want to see who you're with, so the business name. And you also want to give them an opt-out so they can easily opt out of your messages. Cool. So this part will actually not be included in the AI. I'll show you where to insert this in a bit. But for now, we need to focus on the 5 steps right here, which is the question flow. So we always ask this question first, because this is honestly a fucking goated question. Would it mostly be to become free from the grid, help the environment, or is it just for the savings? And the reason we write this, and you should switch this to whatever industry you're in, because we want the user to actually say why they want it, the benefits of it, which increases conversion rate like crazy. Our next step is saying, I can get some things prepared for you so you can easily see the options. With mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick 5 to 10 minute phone call. We don't ask them, do you want a phone call or do you not want a phone call? Because that's a yes-no answer. We ask them, would mornings, afternoons usually work best? Because then they have to pick either one of them. We also write quick 5 to 10 minute phone call, and the reason for that is we want to make it seem as easy as humanly possible. They don't really have to do anything yet. It's just information. After they have said either mornings or afternoons, we say the easiest is probably if you can find a time in my calendar. I've pasted the link in below. So here we use a calendar link. I'll show you how to set that up in a sec. I've had some problems with my calendar lately, so if you can let me know if the link works, that would be perfect. Again, a little trick to just increase the conversion rate, and then it says, let me know if you can find a time that works for you. In step 5, we want to kind of stop the conversation, and usually what happens is that the user says, great, I found a time, answer any question they ask. If they say something like thanks, just respond with an emoji, example thumbs up emoji. So if they say, great, I found a time, I booked Wednesday, the AI is just going to give them a thumbs up emoji back, which is very human to do. Awesome. Let me show you how you take this framework right here and implement it into the AI. Let's take the first step, which it mostly be to become free from the grid, help the environment, or is it just for the savings? And I basically just switch it out for this. So it looks like this, and we don't want an emoji. Then we have the rest of the questions, and I just insert those as well. Just copy them like this. Exactly like that. And for the third question, just have this. Exactly like that. I'll just copy this to add a couple of more questions. This will be 4, and this will be step 5. And for step 4, I add this right here. And for step 5, I will actually insert this now you will, just because so it understands, okay, now it's kind of a different scenario. It's not the same every single time. And I'll insert this. I'll actually remove the brackets and just like this. So this is how I switch out our current conversation flow with this new conversation flow, which I know works really, really well. Awesome. And always remember to click Save Changes. So I go inside of Test AI and let's test it. So let's say the user responds to this question right here and just says, sure, let me see the details. Let's see what our AI responds. So you can see our AI says, hey there, are you looking into solar energy mostly to become free from the grid, help the environment, or is it just for the savings? That's pretty good. Then the user says, mostly savings, but if helps the environment, then I'm all for it. That's awesome. Solar energy is great for savings and the environment. I can get some things prepared for you so you can easily see the options. With mornings, afternoons usually work best for a quick 5 to 10 minute phone call. They answer mornings. Great. The easiest is probably if you can find a time in my calendar. I've pasted in the link below. So of course here we need to switch out the calendar link with the actual calendar link. I'll show you how to do that. Let's just say I booked. Perfect. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything else. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Awesome. Actually a pretty good flow. Follows the exact question flow that we wanted to. It uses smiley emojis sometimes like we wanted to, and has a friendly tone to it, which is awesome. We already now have a really, really good AI. And what did that take us? A couple of minutes. Isn't that fucking awesome? Let's continue, and I'll show you how to set up your Calendly for your client so the appointments can be booked directly with their sales team. You can see right now I'm inside the Calendly of my client, and you can see they already have a couple of appointments set up, and the one that we are booking it into is the pre-consultation call with Soliva Energy. And this is basically just like a booking page. And the way that we usually do it is that I take the one that they are currently doing that is similar to like a pre-consultation call. I click right here and I click clone. And the reason we do this is because we want to keep it separate. There are appointments that they're booking themselves and the appointments that we are booking, so we can track exactly how much value we are providing for this company. And especially when you charge result-based, which means that you charge per appointment that you set up, it makes it much better that you can actually track exactly how many appointments are coming in. Awesome. So I edit it right here. and I basically just call it call with Soliva Energy, and I call it something else that makes sense so we know, okay, this is our calendar event. So I just call it intro call with Soliva. And the great thing is that I keep their current availability because this is also already something that they have set up. The only thing I'm changing is actually just the name, and I click Save Changes. All I need to do now is that I click right here for turning it on, and I can now click Share, which gives me a link, and I can search this up, the booking page right here. That is pretty awesome, isn't it? Because now we can take this shareable link right here and I can insert it into our AI. So the place inside of question flow where we just had the calendar link right here, I just insert it exactly like this. That takes the calendar link that we have inserted, and I just click Save Changes. Inside of the onboarding information, they actually gave us some additional information, and I've just pasted this in right here. You can see they have some value propositions, and I'll just give a instruction right here to the AI prompter. I'll tell her to add this to my company FAQ in the prompt. Use informal and friendly language. And I just hit enter. There we go. You can see it added all of this. Now our AI has this inside of its brain, so if a customer asks for it, our AI can say, well, we do it this and this way. So what I do now is that I click accept. And I also mentioned that this client actually said yes to run a $500 off on solar for the H leads. So what I can do now is that I can copy in this right here. So I'll say, can you add this to the FAQ if the user asks for an offer? And I just hit enter. Should now add this to the prompt so our AI now also understands how this would work. You can see what current promotions are available. Right now we're offering $500 off if you sign up by the end of the month. Don't miss out. And I just click accept. Awesome. I just click save changes as well. That's important too. Clear this chat right here with my current AI and I say, hey man, what specials do you have going on? Let's see how our AI responds. Hey there, right now we've got a sweet deal of $500 off if you sign up by the end of the month. Don't miss out on that. Would it mostly be to become free from the grid, and then it continues the flow. Perfect. Something I realized that it says, hey there, every single initial response. So how do we fix this? Well, we can also just go in and create a rule ourselves, which is right here, just add another rule that says never say, hey there, at the start of a conversation. I click save changes, go back in to test my AI, and that just says hello, and let's see if that worked. And see, now it says hi there instead of hey there. So I say never say any variation of hi there. And then also this at the start of the conversation. I remember to click save. It still says hey there. Isn't that irritating? Let's try and remove this, because this obviously didn't work too well. And to the rules and guidelines, instead of the AI rules, I'll say this: never start with a greeting. Go directly into the question flow. And I'll actually put this in brackets. And the reason for that is that it'll then look for this question flow right here, and it'll know that it should start right there. And I can even add, to make it really, really clear, I can add it right here. this question, first ones, without, maybe do like this, questions first, never come with a greeting, and always go directly into this question in its first response. I click Save Changes, and let's see if that works. So sometimes you can use the AI prompter, sometimes the AI prompter doesn't even know how to fix the issue, and you'll have to be a bit creative. You can see, goes directly into it without saying, hey there, great. And I actually like this way, way better. This sounds way less like an AI. What I will do is that I'll also take this entire prompt and I'll put it into a Google Docs, just so you have it. So I'll basically just take this prompt right here, but without the FAQ, and then you have access to the exact prompt and the exact workflow right here. And you can also use this in other industries, just change the questions, and then you have a really good prompt. You're welcome. Now we have a really good prompt that asks the right questions, does it in a very friendly way, even uses emojis. Now it's time to hook it up to SMS. So what I do is that I go inside of Launch Agent right here. I click Create a Connection, and then I call it Solar AI, and I call it the client name, and I choose SMS right here. And then I choose the newest Solar AI that we just made, and I click Create Connection. Exactly like this. And here you have an exact dashboard. So what I can do is that I can go inside of settings first. I can change it if I want light mode or dark mode. So let's do this, for example. And the company name I'll write in, and I'll click Save Theme Settings. And I can insert a logo right here, click Save Theme Settings, and now you can see we have a logo in the top right corner, as well as the business name. And you can customize this to whatever you want, to your client's colors. And what we can then do is that I can go inside of Team right here, and I can click Invite Member. And then I'll go and find the email of the person that needs this invite, and now it is pending and an email has been sent to them. They can then go in and accept. We actually need a phone number now. And to be able to do this, we need to sign up with Twilio. I'll go take you through the process. You go to twilio.com and you click right top corner right here, start for free. If you already have an account, you can just click login, but I'll show you exactly how to create a new account as well and how to get set up. So I just fill in this information, then I verify my email, and then you verify your phone number, and then you just fill out this information. Awesome, now we are on the dashboard. I already have $15 in credits. Every new account gets this, but we still need to upgrade to make sure that our account works properly. And the way we do that is that we go through this verification process right here. So you click upgrade and it takes you to this page. And here you need to verify your profile. And the reason they ask for this is because they don't want people to just spam out SMS. So they actually take a passport or a driver's license to make sure to verify that it's actually you signing up, to prevent against spam and fraud. So just go through this process. It can take a bit after you have inserted, after you have sent your ID, it can take a bit to get verified. I think it says like 2 to 3 days, but in reality, it rarely takes that long. It might take a few hours, but for me, it took minutes right here. And then you'll come to this page right here. And it's important that when you fill out this business information right here, that you use the client's information. And for the point of contact, it's also important that you use the authenticated person inside of that company that you have gotten from your onboarding survey, the information that was in that docs previously. After you have added $20 and verified your entire profile, this includes going through with your passport to verify your identity, and then signing up with the business information of your client, then you will be at this page right here. And this means that we have now upgraded our account. So if I refresh this upgrade right here should disappear. Exactly. You can see now it doesn't say the upgrade. So I just go back. And now we can sign up for our A2P registration. And you want to do this with the business information of your client because you are sending SMS on behalf of them. So all I do is that I go to phone numbers, I go to active numbers right here, and I choose just this number right here that we have been given from our trial account. And then you can see here, A2P registration is required for US messaging. So I click this right here that says initiate A2P registration. Just like that, you can say it says it's the incomplete registration, so we need to sign up. And the way we do that is that we go inside of brands right here, and here we need to register a brand. And we will use the business information that we filled in before, which was from the client that we have gotten. Is the business entity you're registering located in the US or Canada? It is, but we can go through this data right here. So I just write yes. Does the business you're registering have a tax ID? It does. And I click continue like this. Then I click on review and submit, and I can see that all of the data that I've inserted from my client and the authorized representative, I'll update this. The authorized representative needs to be the person that has allowed you to do this in the company, so I'll fill in this information right quick. It's fine that the notification settings are still going to you. And then I click the confirm button right here and I click save and continue. It will charge $4 to verify the brand. It's a private company. We'll take the low volume standard brand and we'll allow sharing for current sub accounts if in the future we want multiple sub accounts. And then I click this agree right here and I click register. Nice. Now it is verifying the brand and I'll be back after that is done. Awesome. Now our brand is registered. All I do is that I just click continue here and I click continue again. And for this information, for the campaign, we choose the low volume mixed right here. We create a new messaging service. And for this information right here, I actually made a docs for you. Just like the other docs, I'll link this at the bottom of this video. And here you actually have a template of what is good to insert when you send it in. For the campaign description, I write the company name. And I also insert their privacy policy. I click create and I click confirm. And now it says your A2P campaign has been submitted and is now under review. This can take anywhere from 1 to 5 days. It varies a bit. It usually takes about 3 days, but this actually took 1 day. So I can now go inside of my A2P and inside of the campaigns, and I can see that our campaign is now verified. We are ready to send text and start our campaigns. So what I do is that I go inside of the phone numbers and I click active phone number right here and I buy a new number. Inside of our onboarding form, we have area code that they would prefer. It's good to take a local area code because that's going to increase conversion rate and you will create more trust. So I just search for the area code that I am interested in and I get this number right here and I click buy. And then I click I agree to comply. And you can see it needs the A2P registration, but we already have that, and I buy the number. And then I click configure right here. And inside of messaging service, we make sure to choose the A2P messaging service that we just created and connect that. And you need to do this because if you don't do it, then your SMS will not be sent through. And I click save configuration. Like that. Now we have our number and we are ready to start sending. What I do now is that I go inside of test my prompt again. Now I can actually start my campaign. So what I do is that I go inside of campaigns right here. I click new campaign and then I choose the build that we have used, which is the Solar AI. Then I call it campaign title. I just call it reactivation campaign batch 1. Messages that I want to send a day. The messages per day is basically the amount of contacts that we will reach out to. So this will be 100 a day. And then I set the max messages from AI to lead to 10. And this is basically so your API key and your Twilio is not being overused. This means that the AI will stop responding after 10 replies. Next up, I set the start time to 10 and the end time to 3 p.m. This is in 24-hour format. And as you can see, this will send out 100 messages per day between 10 and 15, on average about 20 messages per hour. And you don't want to send too much. This will split out the messages in a very good way, where we don't overuse our API key and we don't overuse the SMS. And the time zone is this one right here. Then I set a realistic delay. This is basically the delay the AI is going to take before it replies to a message. And we don't want the AI to respond instantly, because then they will know that it's an AI. So we had some realistic response delay here, 20 seconds. Click Save Changes. And then the phone number configuration. Inside of Twilio, if you go to your account dashboard, you can now insert this information right here, the account SID and the auth token. So insert that right here, account SID like that, auth token like that, and then the phone number. And we do it in this format right here. So I go back into my phone numbers and I copy this one right here. And I paste it in and just make sure that there's no spaces in here, so it's the right format. And then I click Save Changes. And now comes the fun part, which is the initial message, which is the first message in the question flow. So this is a fixed message that's being sent out the same every single time. And then after the lead responds to this message, that's when our AI picks up, right? So I just copy this initial message. You can find this in the description of this video. And I insert it. And then I insert, instead of this custom value, I make sure to insert the custom field as name. Hope you're well. We spoke a while ago. Had my calendar ping me, but didn't want to disturb without texting first. And then I give my AI a name. Let's call my AI Robert. I am still with business name, and this is Soliva. We're running a special for an extra $500 off Solar, so recently heard about a good update on the last Solar quote we gave you. If you prefer not to receive my texts, please respond with stop. But should I send over the details so you can take a look? And this will have a pretty good open rate and a pretty good response rate as well. But to increase that further, we can actually add follow-up messages. I click this plus right here, and this creates follow-up 1. Phone is bugging me. Did my message go through? And then we can even insert the name to make it even more personalized. So like, my phone is bugging me. Albert, did my message go through? This is going to increase response rate further. And the delay minutes, I'll set that to, let's say, an hour. So 60 minutes. Like that. Then I add a follow-up 2. And just see, did you get my message? Like that. We can send this after, let's say, 3 hours. So the delay minutes here will be 180. And then I click Save Changes. So now we've basically set up the campaign. And now I can click Create Campaign right here. And now we can upload the leads. The name field to the first name, the phone field to the phone. The name field, this is the custom value that's used inside of the message. We also want to make sure that that's just the first name right here. And then we click Upload Contacts. You can see there's 999 contacts. In here, we're running a test here for the initial 1,000 leads, just so they can see what kind of results that they can expect. See, now we have uploaded 990 contacts. And the last 9 were probably either duplicates or had a number that isn't in the right format. Now under contacts, I can check all of the contacts that we have imported. So all that is left to do is click this button right here, Start Campaign, and this will start sending out the messages. And then we can check the conversations inside of conversations. So let's do it. We finally got to the end. I'm just going to click Start Campaign right here, and that's us onboarding an entire client from A to C. If you like guys like these and you want to see a bunch of more AI services that you can sell using softwares like Test My Prompt, then make sure to join our school group, which is called AI Automation A to C. Alright, we have nothing left to do. I'm just going to click Start Campaign right here, and it's going to send out messages. Let's fucking go. Like that. Now the campaign is active, and when it reaches 10 a.m. New York time, start sending out messages. Let's fucking go. This is the first video of many, and if you found it useful, then make sure to subscribe. Peace.